What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So, I know I'm behind on videos for the Bounty Hunter guide. I've just been a little bit busy with work lately, but I do plan to get a couple more of those out before the Executor drops next week. You can expect to see all the pilots are going to be in the next upcoming videos, so you guys are gearing these pilots up, so I'm going to kind of put them at the front of the list in terms of a video order. Speaking of the Executor, though, we finally got the kit today, and all I can say is, oh my god. This thing is... I don't have words. I really don't have words, guys. This thing is just ridiculous. So, today we're just going to do a quick video on looking over the kit. I want to discuss some possible counters. Possible. I say possible because I really don't think it's possible right now. But yeah, we're going to go over the kit. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on the whole thing as far as starting lineup with bounty hunter ships, reinforcements, and kind of, you know, how you can expect the ship to play out. So, let's get started. Okay, so the Executor is finally here, guys, and again, like I said, I have no words. This thing is an absolute monster. So, dark side, it does not have the bounty hunter tag. Like I said on some of my streams, it doesn't really matter if it has the bounty hunter tag or not. Tags really don't matter a whole lot for capital ships. They're kind of just there for their kit and their direct synergy with the other ships. So, no bounty hunter capital ship technically, but it is the bounty hunter capital ship. So the basic, guys. The basic, deal physical damage and expose the target for 1 turn. Deal 5% more damage for every Empire ally and 25% more damage for every Bounty Hunter ally. So, you know, it's a pretty standard basic. We'll see how much damage it actually does. But obviously you're going to be wanting to run Bounty Hunters. And I love this little icon here because Boss's Foot is now famous. Because he gets hysterical. I don't know why, but I think this is a hilarious icon. I think it's really funny. Breach of Protocols. First special. Cooldown of 4. The cooldown seems fair-ish. I mean, it's a pretty good ability. So, deal physical damage to all enemies. If the enemy is target locked, call Empire allies to assist, dealing 30% less damage. If the target is breached, call all Bounty Hunters allies to assist, dealing 10% more damage. This could potentially be a delete button for a ship, because if we have Xanadu Blood out, you have to remember Xanadu Blood is unique, is anytime a Bounty Hunter ally deals damage to a breached enemy, you're also dealing bonus damage equal to 10% of that enemy's max health. So if you're calling everyone to all the Bounty Hunter allies to assist, and they're doing 10% more damage, plus you got characters like Slave 1, you have Xanadu Blood and IG-2000 who can hit multiple times on their basic, we're going to be almost killing a ship with this one ability, which is absolutely bizarre. And Slave 1 has the potential to triple tap, so... Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Lots of damage there. Alright, special number 2. We only need to keep them from escaping. Cooldown of 5. Love the icon. Falcon's burning. Kind of sucks, but the Falcon's burning, but the icon's cool. The ability name, I feel like they could have kept something else. This is such a long name. Anyways... this is the anti-Falcon ability. Bounty Hunter allies gain potency up for 1 turn. Didn't need potency up for this fleet, but I'll take it. Dispel Outmaneuver. Now, Outmaneuver, for those of you that aren't too familiar with it, the Falcon is the only ship that gets Outmaneuver at the moment. That's that little buff it gets when it does its wiggle. And Stealth from all enemies, and Dispel all buffs from Bounty Hunter allies. An AoE Cleanse is absolutely bizarre, guys. Absolutely insane. Target ally recovers 100% health and protection. If the target was a Bounty Hunter ally, gain Foresight and Taunt for 2 turns. This could be our turn 1 ability. If the Executor is faster than the Negotiator, we might be using this turn 1 to give Houndstooth Taunt. Now, I've been using Bounty Hunter ships with Akbar, and the Dispel from Akbar is so good for Bounty Hunter ships, but now that we have an AoE Dispel, I'm going to be stuttering and stopping a lot because I'm just at a loss for words, guys. This capital ship is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Now the ultimate. You guys have probably already seen it, but it's the Death Star, which is hilarious because in a mirror match, it is basically your Death Star versus my Death Star, and I think that's just funny and awesome, and ships is going to be crazy in the coming future. Okay, something special planned. Destroy the enemy capital ship and stun all enemies for 1 turn. This stun all enemies is so unnecessary, but I guess they're stunned because they're just in awe of how awesome this ability is. Or maybe this is so bright that the retinas are just blown out. I don't know. Allies gain protection up 35% for 2 turns, which is, again, unnecessary, but whatever. If there's no enemy capital ship, destroy all active enemy ships instead. That is absolutely hilarious, because that implies you can use this a second time. Now, I don't know how you're going to get to this a second time, because it does have a cooldown of 20. I know there's a way to reduce the cooldowns, but the fact that you can use this multiple times, or they're implying you can use it multiple times, is hilarious. So in theory, this means you can use the Death Star to shoot the Millennium Falcon, which financially I don't think that is a very wise move for the Empire, but you have a lot of money, so I guess they can waste a couple of Death Star blasts here and there. But just being able to use it on ships, I think, is funny. I hope it has a different animation too. That'd be cool if it just shoots the the lone X-wing or the lone Houndstooth that's still around. But you know, the thing I'm wondering about is if it's possible. Maybe in a mirror match, yeah, but I'm wondering if it's possible to get this off a second time, because I mean, after you kill your opponent's capital ship, I mean, how realistically, how long do we expect those lone ships to survive? Anyways, this ability can't be evaded or resisted, starts on cooldown, and is reduced by 1 every time the breach is inflicted on an enemy ship. Guys, if you watch my Twitch streams and you see me using the Bounty Hunter fleet with Akbar, you know we get breach out very quickly. We get our contract completed by our first reinforcement all the time. This, again, no words. It's just incredible. Crew member, this is Piet's ability, which it's going to be maxed out anyways because you have to have him at R8. Vader's Bounty. Now, this beginning part, guys, when I read this on stream the first time, I stopped for about 5 minutes. I could not believe it. So, Bounty Hunter allies have 35% max health and protection and offense, and ignore taunt from crewless or droid ships. The ignore taunt part is great. The part that I still can't believe it is this part. 35% max health and max protection. Okay, now that is an insanely big boost in ships. We don't have a whole lot of that going around in ships in terms of just raw stats being applied everywhere. Houndstooth is already very difficult to deal with. Now you're giving it 35% more max health and max protection. I have a Relic 8 Houndstooth, and now I'm starting to consider he might be my first R9. Well, boss, not the ship. Boss for the ship. The offense is cool. I like the offense, but this is going to help so much for IG-2000 and Xanadu Blip, because those ships are a little bit squishy. I know a lot of people say Slave 1 is squishy. I don't think it is if you use it in the right way. But that's insane. Just a flat max health, max protection. Houndstooth is going to be such a pain to get through, guys. I mean, it already is a pain, but... Okay, again, lost for words. Okay, at the start of the battle, Bounty Hunter allies all gain tenacity up for 2 turns. So this is almost like a Jedi Knight Revenant. It's like, here's max health, offense, protection. Oh yeah, and you have tenacity, by the way. Which is ridiculous. So that means even if this ship is not faster than Negotiator, that AoE days from Negotiator is not going to happen because, well, we're all going to have tenacity up. And Empire allies gain, we don't need their scum. So let's check that out real quick. We don't need their scum. We need to turn meter manipulation. Whenever a Bounty Hunter ally is defeated, recover 25% max health protection, and TIE Advance gains 10% max health protection instead. So basically, guys, what this means is your Empire ships, if you choose to use Empire ships here, they're not going to lose turn meter, they're not going to gain any turn meter. This might be useful in a mirror match, possibly, but I really don't see the need to use Empire ships here. I mean, you get more bonuses for using Bounty Hunter ships. Anyways, Empire allies gain this for the rest of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Whenever an enemy reinforces, Bounty Hunter allies gain evasion up for 1 turn. Again, I did not ask for evasion up. This was not on my list of things I wanted for Bounty Hunter capital ship, but I'll take it. So we're going to be dodging now, which is already super annoying in ships, but now everyone's going to have evasion up when somebody comes in. How odd is that? Whenever an ally applies breach, they dispel all debuffs on themselves. I mean, like I said, we apply breach all the time. We're starting with tenacity up. We're dispelling when we apply breach. And we have bonus stats for max health, protection, offense. I mean, and we're gonna get evade. I mean, this is just, I don't know, guys. Like I'm very curious to see other content creators take on this because they're probably more put together than I am right now. I'm kind of just like, I mean, I've read this already, but I'm still just, I still can't process this, guys. This is insane, absolutely insane. Like I wanted CG to give me this much, and they gave me like the store. They just gave me the whole store. This is insane. I mean, not me, but you know, everybody. The ship wasn't made for me. It was made for everybody. Whenever a bounty hunter ally deals damage with their basic ability, they inflict target lock on the target enemy for 1 turn. Again, didn't need this. They didn't need this at all, but and all of their basics are so good, guys. The bounty hunter basics, they're all really, really good. So now we're gonna have target lock just everywhere. Target lock and breach, 2 of the most detrimental debuffs in fleets, and they're gonna be just flying out all over the place. The first time allies inflict target lock 20 times on an enemy, each active enemy and enemies who are called in from reinforcements or summon, so basically vulture droids, are inflicted with breach and target lock. These effects cannot be dispelled, evaded, resisted, and last until the end of the battle. You're basically coming in with death mark. I mean, that's basically what that says. And that's absolutely insane. You're coming in with undispellable breach and target lock. It doesn't say it can't be prevented, but I don't know how you prevent it. But you just, like, it's basically, this is basically a mini contract inside of the Executor, which is absolutely insane. So we're gonna have 2 contracts going off at the same time. We have this one and we have the Razor Crest one. Reinforcement bonuses. Reinforcements gain breach immunity and chaff for 2 turns. For those who aren't familiar with chaff, the only way you get chaff right now in the game is through Ebonhawk's reinforcement ability or its second special ability. Chaff basically is target lock immunity. That's basically what it does. And now we have a new buff, breach immunity. So this is mainly for the mirror match, but also, you know, we're ignoring taunts from all pilotless ships and droid ships, which means really Houndstooth is your only defense against this fleet. But then if we have breach immunity, our opponent's Houndstooth isn't going to have breach out very, very long because we're going to be cleansing all the time. Okay, we're not done yet, guys. There are changes to Slave 1. Finally. People have been asking for changes forever, or just to give it a unique. I wasn't expecting them to make changes to Slave 1. I thought Slave 1's ship was okay. I would say it was about average. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't horrible. It was okay. So they changed the basic. Now, the basic used to say if you crit against a target lock enemy, you gain 20% turn meter. They haven't specified if that's getting removed or this new text is replacing it. I didn't really count on that target lock synergy a whole lot just because Slave 1 didn't crit a whole lot. Anyways, if the target enemy is breached, dispel all buffs on them. So now basically you have Slave 1 is going to be dispelling everybody constantly. I think this makes his reinforcement even better because he's going to have retribution. Breach is going to be everywhere, guys. Breach is going to be all over the place. So Slave 1 is going to be doing a lot of work. I always thought Slave 1 was a great reinforcement with Akbar anyways, because as Slave 1 attacked out of turn with reinforcement, as a reinforcement with retribution, he would recover that bonus protection through Akbar's kit and attack breached characters. So you have to understand that when you attack with Slave 1 against a breached character, you have the potential of hitting 3 times. That means you're going to be hitting 3 times, and then you're also could be doing 30% of their max health as damage on a basic, which is, again, I think it's very underrated. They didn't do anything with the first special. Seismic Charge is also the same. Now, they did give him an entire unique, which is, I mean, just insane. At the start of the battle, whenever Slave 1 is reinforced, for each active enemy, Slave 1 gains 5% offense, 2% crit chance. So hopefully they do keep that target lock synergy because we're getting crit chance And I personally don't see the point of giving us crit chance if they remove the target lock synergy. So it doesn't say again that they removed it, but it's just not there. And plus 5 speed for the rest of the battle for each ship. So the speed is nice. That is pretty nice. Slave 1 is a little bit on the slower side of things, but the offense is cool. I mean, we're already getting offense from, you know, Razor Crest and the Executor, but more offense, I'm okay with that. And 5 more speed, cool. 5 more speed per ship too. The first time all enemies are breached while Slave 1 is active, or Slave 1 enters the battlefield while all enemies are breached, seismic charge cooldowns reset. That is pretty cool. So basically, if you have it set up properly where the first 3 ships are breached and your capital ship can reinforce on its second turn, you have a seismic charge and you might just end the battle right there, to be honest. Like, seismic charge, guys, it hits 4 times against breached enemies because it hits once as a physical damage AoE, and then it does bonus damage equal to 30% of all ships, of their ships' max health. So because it's doing damage twice, it's going to trigger Xanadu Blood's unique twice when breach is out. And then we also get some breach synergy finally. While Slave 1 is active, breached enemies have 50% less damage when they attack on a turn. This is pretty big because this is going to stack with Xanadu Blood's minus 25% offense towards breached enemies. It's also going to stack with offense down. And then you also have minus 25% crit chance on Xanadu Blood, and I believe minus 30% crit damage on Razor Crest. So, again, it's going to be very, very difficult to kill Houndstooth because we are pretty much nullifying a lot of their damage if they're breached. Now it's reinforcement all-out offense. So it's basically the same, but they added Slave 1 gains additional protection up 20% per breach enemy. That's pretty big, guys, because, like I said, the way I use Slave 1 is when I use it with Akbar, Slave 1 attacks out of turn through Retribution. It recovers protection up every time it attacks out of turn. It gets bonus protection. So that kind of helps keep it alive. It's not as squishy, but now it's just straight up giving us protection up 20% per breach enemy. So if it comes in with 3 breached enemies, A, our Sonic Mind's ready to go, and B, we have a very thick Slave 1, in addition to the bonus max protection and max health from the Executor. So Slave 1 is going to be... Slave 1's going to be doing work, guys. I'm super excited for this. I think this is going to be great. Not even under the Executor. Like, this is just great for the ship overall. So let's go over some starting lineups. We don't have fleet squads yet, unfortunately. But I think as of right now, guys, my starting lineup would have to be Houndstooth. I try to save Houndstooth as reinforcement because you could really cheat out the contract with Razor Crest. With Houndstooth as a reinforcement, you can get out a little bit earlier than normal. But it's just insane. It's just absolutely insane how we're going to be getting all these bonuses in addition to the Executor. So, Bounty Hunter ships, I don't know what's going to counter them right now. But my starting lineup would have to consist of Houndstooth and Razor Crest for sure. Mainly because we need Razor Crest out there for the contract. And he's just good. He's just good for getting breach out for all the other ships. Houndstooth because, well, Houndstooth is now way too good. He's way too good of a ship. Now, the one thing we have to figure out is, are we going to have IG-2000 or Xanadu Blood as our third? I'm leaning towards Xanadu Blood. I really want to test IG-2000. I really like the ship because of how fast it is, and you can get that stun out right away. IG-2000 is a little bit on the squishier side, but Xanadu Blood does go stealth for 1 turn. Now this is pretty important because this would mean our opponent can only really attack either Houndstooth or the Razor Crest. And both ships are very, very difficult to kill, like, right away. Almost impossible, really. So, we have a pretty safe lineup right here. Now, however, if we do put this on defense, the AI does prioritize Slave 1 quite a bit as a reinforcement, which means IG-2000 may not actually ever see the light of day. I'm not sure where the AI prioritizes IG-2000's reinforcement, but we can take a look at it real quick. So, you enter the battlefield, you gain, someone gains offense up, and you inflict crit chance down on all enemies for 2 turns. Which is kind of silly because you're already going to have crit chance down here, but I guess you're doing it even more. So, anyways, Additionally, inflict target lock on the highest and lowest health enemy for 2 turns. So we do have some target lock synergy, which is nice, but we're going to be throwing target lock and breach out like crazy, guys. I really like Xanadu Blood's reinforcement, though, just because you can give everybody retribution. You inflict breach when you come out, can't be evaded or resisted. You inflict defense down on everybody, which is awesome. And that also can't be evaded. And then you grant everybody retribution for 2 turns. So ETA does his AoE. He basically kills himself because everyone just goes right after him. And if he has breach, well, he's toast. But I think in terms of defense, guys, we're going to have Houndstooth, Razorcrest, Xanadu Blood. And then these guys are going to be on the bench. Now, in terms of the other 2 ships, that are going to be on the bench, in terms of how I've been using this fleet, I really like using Lando's Millennium Falcon as kind of like a last resort to come out and just take, 3 or 4 turns in a row. But the one other ship that I like, and it makes a little sense here in terms of, I think, the mirror match, is Ebonhawk. Why? Because, well, we're going to get that chaff for 2 turns when he comes out. And then you get to do it again on its special. So, inflict buff immunity for 2 turns, and then everyone gets chaff for 2 turns. So chaff is, again, just target lock immunity is what it is. So, dispelling all buffs on everybody is also really good. So, in terms of countering this fleet, I don't know yet, guys. But I think Ebonhawk is going to be a part of it. Possibly Plo Koon as well. I know when Breach gets completely nullified, the Bounty Hunter fleet does tend to kind of shut off a little bit. But it's going to be very, very hard to get rid of Breach when it's being thrown out so much quicker. And then they have target lock on top of that. So it's going to be... this is going to be the meta, guys. This is going to be the meta. There's no easy way to go around it for the foreseeable future. Now, in terms of integrating Empire ships, I'm not too sure on what Empire ships we're going to be implementing in here. Possibly TIE Fighter Pilot to ramp up our turn meter on our capital ship. Maybe even the Gauntlet. Gauntlet's also very, very good. But... yeah, guys, TIE Reaper is also another one I'm looking at right now in terms of a mirror match because the unique on the ship is really good. Anytime any ship dies, the enemy capital ship loses 15% TM. That can kind of get you ahead. Again, like I said, the mirror match is going to be your Death Star versus my Death Star, and, well, if I can, get extra turns in, if I can make your capital ship be slower, then it's going to be worth it. Now, another thing to consider is everyone's going to have a Relic 8 Piet. So everyone's going to be equal speed. So Relic 9 Piet may actually be another first R9, just so you can get out ahead of everyone else that you're going up against with the same fleet. But again, it's going to be a while before a lot of people have this at 7 stars. So it's just a lot, guys. There's a lot to unpack here, but I'm completely blown away, guys. I really did not expect to get this kind of a capital ship for the bounty hunters. I think this is absolutely just insane. Alright, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today. I just wanted to go over the kit and give you guys my thoughts, my first impressions of it. We'll be going over the entire ship when it comes out on Monday. I'll be streaming quite a bit that day, so if you guys haven't followed me on Twitch yet, go ahead and give me a follow. We'll be making another video on how this ship actually behaves against the Negotiator at 4 stars and 5 stars and so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, expect to see more Bounty Hunter content come out before this ship releases. I do apologize, just been a little bit busy with work, but I'm trying to get a couple videos up for you guys. Other than that, guys, I am just super pumped. I at a loss for words. I don't know how many times I've said that, but it is just... it is a monster and a beast of a capital ship, and I just can't wait, guys. So Monday is going to be August 16th is going to be pretty awesome. Other than that, guys, thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.